You hit on $1 million question, actually. Across most campuses, voter turnout is about 18%. Unfortunately, we're in the same boat. I don't think that necessarily corresponds to our attendance at events. Some of our events are extremely well attended, such as Fresh Fest, for instance. Obviously, there are those events that do flop, but I think that's just the nature of doing business. In terms of getting better student engagement, I think we, as executive, did a very good job this year. We tried to get ourselves out there a lot more, and a lot more people know who we are and know that we're executives. But that being said, I don't think it's a one-year fix. I think it's something that's going to have to continue for at least another 2 or 3 years. And student apathy is a big thing to combat in terms of our elections and in terms of some of our events and services. But I think that if we commit in probably a 3 or 4 year period, then I think that we can make strides in it. Thank you.
Like Sean was saying, voter apathy has been kind of a persistent issue on campus. It's not really anyone to point fingers at. It's just kind of an issue we've had as like a community issue. This is a big speaking point at the elections last year. A lot of us spoke on trying to increase communication between clubs, between students and everything, but it boils down to a lot of people even just campaigning around this time. I say, hey, I'm Charlie, I'm running for a VP academic, and then people say, what's that? Or it just, I think this year's executive has been doing a great job, but what we really need to focus on is getting the word out of what the SU is, what it does, and if we just increase clarity and communication across campus, we can build a stronger community, and I feel all the problems of voter apathy and poorly attended events kind of go away by themselves if we are stronger together.
I actually think that voter turnout and event turnout are somewhat similar. I mean, if you think about an event, if there was 18% of the student population that showed up to an event, that would be a success. And I think the similarity is just coverage. I mean, students who don't know about maybe Fresh Fest, they don't know about these events, and that's why they don't engage. And same reason what happens why they don't vote. They don't know where to vote. Maybe they don't know what the proper information. So I think those type of things are pretty similar when it comes to getting people to engage, whether that be in events or voting. You know, granted, I think voting is definitely a larger, more important aspect of student union, but I think it is all the same. Actually, when I was VP admin at Graduate College, I was the chief returning officer, so the person kind of in charge of the elections my last year, and I was able to, just with guerrilla tactics, just kind of getting out into the hallways, kind of handing out pamphlets just about the elections, just in general, having voter polling with the computers on campus. We were able to raise our voter turnout from, I think, 20% to we almost got to 40% on campus, which is actually the highest recording post-secondary voter turnout. So I think just doing that.
So yeah, to reiterate a bunch of things, Sean, it's kind of the nature of the beast for sure. And like I said before, one of my points is it's all about student availability, student engagement, student education, and how exposed they are to current events here on campus. I was doing the math with Matt and Michael. I was doing the math with Mike, and we did 18% of 8,000 students, 8,000 student presence here on campus. That's about 1,500 students. So that in any sort of event would be a success in my mind. So if you had 18% engagement for any event on campus, I think that'd be awesome. In regards to other things, how it reflects just engaging on campus, it does come to student availability and how engaged students are. We are working on momentum. It is a 2, 3 year, 4 year process of just being on our A game. And hopefully for the future, the executive did an amazing job this year in my mind. So next year, it's bound to show up if we do an awesome job and just snowball. So
I like your question. It's something that's good to campaign on because it's something that you can always improve on campus. I think that, 18%, sure, it's not great, but look at how the city election did. Only 30% of people turned out. I think it's just the nature of Canadian politics. Canadians aren't very engaged in their political systems. That being said, I think we've tried our hardest this year to get out. I know the exec, we've turned out for every event that we can to get our faces out there. We're trying to talk to as many people, and I know many people in the audience today. I think the turnout at today's debates is great. We're happy to see so many faces in the audience. I know that apathy of people is something that we work on, and something we'll always work on because it's just the nature of the organization. I'm hoping that we can get people more engaged, but people have their own ways of getting engaged as well. There's many different students across this university who have many different interests. It's hard to engage them all in various aspects. What we try and offer is a wide range of activities that people can get involved in, and that's why you see stuff like the CKXU levy, you see the Women's Center, you see all these different things around campus. And it's in an effort to try and hit one person's interest for every area. We hope that there's some way that everyone can get involved, because that's what's really important, is getting students involved, because that's how you enjoy your university experience, right?
Yeah, so kind of to reiterate that as well, we do need to make sure that we're grabbing students early. We're grabbing them as first years, obviously with Fresh Fest. We're getting out there after Fresh Fest. We're being consistent with, say, tabling and events and all of that. Getting them involved with services, well, groups at the ULSU, such as the Student Engagement Committee and the Volunteer Corps. They're very important for other events as well. Yeah.
What to say that hasn't been said? It is all about just engaging students through a variety of opportunities through our campus clubs, through other campus organizations, and making sure that we engage those organizations and staying engaged politically and in other ways the students in them. And also it's about our executive as a team, whichever executive is elected, getting out boots on the ground and just talking to students about what the issues are, what the events coming up are. And we've been great at doing some of that this year. We've seen a lot of tabling and a lot of street teaming for a lot of our social events. But again, part of my grassroots advocacy platform is really about getting out and also street teaming and tabling about advocacy